Buongiorno, hello and welcome, guten Abend, guten Tag, and welcome to this highlight video from the new Zwift series in November. Race MAKURI, it's the first stage today. The route is castle to castle, 23 kilometers. We have a small hill in the beginning, between kilometer 3 and 5, and then it's a little bit downhill, and the final 12-13 kilometers are pan flat. So I expected a very fast race. We had some well-known names in the field. The field is a larger field, not the biggest field I've seen in this series, but 148 riders is pretty nice. And as you can see, it's a very quick start. We are riding almost 50 kilometers per hour, and now we're going to leave the city of Neokyo and entering MAKURI Island. And yes, in the beginning of the race, I try to stay more in the back of the bunch because, as I said some moments ago, after 3 kilometers there will be the hill. So I wanted to save some energy for the hill. I didn't know what to expect, if it's like an all-out effort or just maybe at VO2 max zone. So that's why I'm quite far at the end. To my overall strategy, and this is also what you will see in the next minutes, I said to myself that in this month I'm going to try to be in the top 10 in the GC, and so I wanted to make also some pulls in the front, especially there where it makes the most sense for me. That's normally in the climbs or when it's a little bit uphill, because with about 71 kilograms I'm quite heavy, light rider. And yes, in some moments I don't know if I should skip or not. Yes, I will make a cut and then we will jump to the beginning of the climb. Okay, so here we are. It's not after 3 kilometers, it's after 4 kilometers. That's because I forgot that we have a lead-in from about 800-900 meters. And so now the gradient starts to rise up, 3%, 4%. It's a not very steep climb. You can see how fast we are going. So draft is also a big thing. We're going to get our first power up here at the banner. Z Racing, right on. One rider in the front, making some pace. And we have the normal power ups. So feather, the van, that's what I got. The arrow helmet, and if you're very lucky, then you will get a plus with some XP points and nothing else. So yeah. So the pace was fast, but not too fast. You can see that the field is becoming longer and not so bunchy. But it's not that fast that everybody blows up immediately. One rider in the front, he's riding quite steady, so I think I will decide in a few moments. Oh, okay, that maybe this will happen later. I closed the gap because I thought, okay, that's a good wheel. He tries to make a good pace. He don't want to attack. We have almost 20 kilometers to go, most of them flat or downhill, so he don't want to make a solo breakaway. That's why I closed the gap. Now I wanted to take some breathers, and then I think I'm also going to work a little bit. But all in all, the pace is quite nice. And yes, you can see in the colors in the bottom that, yeah, it's not easy, but it's not an all-out effort. And yes, this is Mr. Milad. I don't know where he's from. I will check it out. This is Harry Milad or Milad, Canada, from the coalition team. And before I forget it later, he will finish on position 28. So yes, he's 77.7 kilograms, so like an all-round rider. And yes, okay, so he's still in the front, doing a lot of work. Now I'm going to close the gap again, bring back the whole group, because that's what we want. A high pace, but keep a quite big group together. So yes, the more people we are in the downhill and on the flat, it should be better for us. It won't be perfect, you will see, because and a lot of riders are not working. So I will go to the front quite often, more than I've planned, but yeah, that's it. And yes, after this first climb now, we will see that the field, the peloton, is nearly cut it in the middle. So we were then about 50, I think 51 riders in the front group. Sadly, some teammates, okay, it was only one teammate in this race, Jochen Riese. He was in the second peloton, so we won't see him again. We saw him in the beginning in our Wattfabrik jersey. And yes, he will finish on position 85, 2 minutes 40 behind the front group. And yes, you can see in the mini-map now some riders are pushing very hard and they will make it to us. And for the other riders, the race is not over, but yeah, the front group is away. Okay, I don't cut now. I have to talk a lot. I can't stop talking. So we're going in the downhill now, and there you could get another power up, but you have a lot of opportunities to pick a new power up. I think maybe 5. You ride through 5 banners, or maybe 6, where you can get another power up. But I decided to keep the van power up, because normally in a sprint finish you're looking for the aero helmet, which makes you more aerodynamic for 50 seconds. But my thoughts were that in the Z racing you have often big fields, you see 150 riders, and normally, or especially on a flat route like today, you have a big group and a mass sprint, and if there are so many people, there's always 1 or 2 or 3 dudes who are attacking very early, and then the whole bunch starts to sprint or to increase the numbers, and then it's quite normal that you have a very long sprint, not like in other races with smaller fields or a more separating route. So the van, the double drafting, lasts for 30 seconds. So I thought that this would be the better decision. Yes, if you want to win, maybe the aero helmet would be still the better power up, because if you want to win, you have to go to the front. In the best case, this is 1 meter before the finish line, but normally you have to go in the wind, and then the aero power up is gold worth. I don't know if you say this like this in English. Dann ist das Aero Power Up Gold wert, würde man auf Deutsch sagen. And yes, yeah, you can see the comment, cut the group in half, but still having fun. That's the way it should be. And yes, this is why you will see that I'm not going to use my power up, even though I knew that there would be so many opportunities to pick another one. But yeah, no risk was my thinking, because yeah, I had often another situation that I got a feather or just the XP plus, and this I never want to have this experience again. This is such a bad feeling if everybody has power-ups and is flying around you and you're like, yeah, sitting there with nothing in your hands, just your pure power in the legs. But yeah, okay, so I will make a cut and that's it. So it's almost half time, and you see that the field is getting wider and not stretched, which indicates a slower pace. But now you can see Mr. Blue Hat in the front. He is a very strong rider, a very heavy rider. In Swift Power he calls himself Scotty P from the OTR racing team. He's very heavy, 123 kilograms, like the Frank from Italy, the Italian Frank in the B category. And yes, you can see then I grabbed his wheel because I wanted to work. I did my job. But yeah, you can see it on my face. I pulled my elbow outside to signalize that someone else should make the pace, but yeah, nobody wanted to do this. The field is again very stretched, and now it was a quite hard decision, because on the one hand I wanted to make the race fast, but that would mean I have to take a lot of work, because almost no one, maybe a handful of people were really pushing, or just sit in the back and save energy. You can see now Scotty, Blue Hat, is in the front again. And even now, everybody sleeps. I don't know what they are thinking. Blue Hat wants to make the pace for everyone else, and they let open a gap. Even if I'm talking about this, I'm quite angry. And now you can see this is how you should make it. Follow him, and then if he lowers his watts, then you are going to the front and doing your work in the red zone. And even in a downhill, you see that I'm in the front now. And now I'm going to the side. I hope that this guy will continue. Yeah, but you see what happens, and that I'm not very happy in my face. But okay. This is racing, and everybody can do whatever he wants. For example, in the last series, I missed the first race because I was sick. Gladfully, it was not Corona, but I was about 10 days. Yeah, couldn't do sports for 10 days, so I missed the first stage, and so every opportunity for a good GC position. And so in the races I raced, because I like the races. It's quite fun, always a lot of people, good riders. I was doing not so much work, sometimes at the hills, but I think almost never in the flat or downhill, because I was like, okay, why should I work now and do the work for you? And in the end, I have no power for the sprint, and you receive a good time. So yeah, this time will be hopefully different. And I don't want to say too much, but I think this is one of my most perfect races, from strategy, tactics, luck, and I don't know how to call it, maybe fairness. Or this is not a race where someone is only sitting in the back and tries nothing, waiting for the last 200 meters and then doing all-out sprint, but you will see. Now you can see again Scotty, alias Blue Hat from Italy, in the front. I don't know if he tried to attack that early, but you can see the reactions, so many power-ups. And yes, you see that I'm stay quite relaxed because I know we will bring him back. And yes, so we are back in Neokyo, 8 kilometers, but still 3 or 4 sprint segments. There are no points or anything, but yes, of course, a chance to grab a new power up. And yes, okay, I'm going to make the next cut now because otherwise the video will be too long. I think even now it's already too long, but yeah, I'm in a good mood today, so yes. So now there are only 7 kilometers to go. Still the 51 people. The field is again very wide and not fast, so this is maybe a good moment for me to go to the front because it's a little bit uphill, 1% you can see, so time to work again. You can see my face, I tried to ride in the red zone, but quite steady. Now it's downhill again. I think now maybe someone will roll through me or not. That's a problem. You see that I'm reducing a lot my power to 3 watts per kilogram, and it took so long for the group to close the gap, and now again it's a very wide field, so I was not happy. And my hair looks very funny, I know. I haven't been to the what's the English word for friseur? It's barber shop, or not? I don't know. No, not important. So now another short ramp, still right on the front. Now I'm going to close the gap. I didn't want it to attack. I just wanted to make the race quick because you see 6 kilometers to go, no chance for 2 riders. So yeah, just another move to make the race quick, and it worked quite well. You see on the mini-map that the field is getting longer and not only one little blob. So next cut, 4 kilometers to go, and now you see the one attack in the front, again a Canadian guy. I don't know if it is the same guy who was riding so much at the front in the hill in the beginning. No, it's Mr. Hawks. And I try to follow him. You saw a very hard attack from myself. And the gap opens really quick. Look at the mini-map. And in the beginning it seems like it could work. We are both pushing about 5 watts per kilogram. Now he is going to the front, but I'm always looking, you can see it in my eyes on the right side, what are the other guys doing, and you can see 5 watts per kilogram from the big blob from the peloton. So at this moment it was clear that we have no chance. That's why I'm not going too much to the front again. Yes, no chance. But if you don't try, you will not win. So, yes. But I feared that I lost too much energy with this move or with the other moves. You can see the red zone in the bottom. But yes. On the left side now with a blue cap and the pink socks, green shoes, Jason Vandenberg from the RWB team. One of the strongest riders. If you race the last Z Racing series, you will know him. He was one of the top riders. He finished, give me a second, the Race Like a Champ series. He finished on the 2nd place, only 4 seconds behind Laurent Lebel from Canada, and 15 seconds to the 3rd place, Adam McConnell. It's a teammate from him, also from the RWB team, Racing Without Borders. And it seems like they're racing in the same sub-team, RWB Ghosts. So yes, greetings. 2 kilometers, okay, so I don't need to make another cut. And yes. Now I said to myself not to work. On the last 2 kilometers I didn't care, even if we would ride only 25 or 30 kilometers per hour, I wouldn't go to the front and make the pace. In a few moments or seconds you will see that blue head from Italy is attacking. There you see him. Now left with a power up. He used the power up very well, I think, if this is the attack move now. Yep, so perfect use of this power up from the very, very end of the peloton with double draft through the field and keep pushing. Now he will grab another power up. The best cases would be an arrow helmet for him. I absolutely don't know why this guy is using his helmet now. This is the last chance for a power up and he takes a risk to get a feather or nothing. So in my opinion, very stupid use of the power up. If you have the feather, yes, there is no right or wrong position to use it. Me by myself, I use it always in the sprint in the end, because if you're lighter but pushing the same high watts when you start your sprint, my thought is that you accelerate faster because you have the same watts, like maybe 10 watts per kilogram. What's absolute watts? You know what I mean. So yeah, it's easier to accelerate a lighter body than a heavier one. That's what I wanted to say. Anyway, Scotty, blue head, is caught. And I forget what I wanted to tell you. I will make another replay. That was Jason Vandenberg, who sprinted through me. Now he uses his power up. Also perfect timing and use of the power up. But I am in a good position. My power up also helps me. His power up will perfect timed, but not that perfect. And now you can see in my face that I thought it was a second place, but it was the first place. And I'm like, maybe this will change. Of course I had, it was very small. The higher speed in the end. But I will play a replay. Give me a second. Okay, let's start here. I was looking all the time for Jason. This was my rider I was watching all the time when he started the sprint, and there he's coming on the left side. And I reacted very, very quick. You can see how fast I'm in the orange numbers, 14 watts per kilogram, because I knew this is the wheel I have to take. Quick use of the power up, because 400 meters and it lasts 30 seconds, so that shouldn't be a problem. There is blue head again. And now I'm perfectly behind him. Of course, there's a gap, but I'm right behind him and not more left or right. And now I start to realize, okay, maybe I can take him. We are pushing nearly the same watts per kilogram. I'm a little bit higher. There's the finish line, and you can see it in my face. Oh, come on, oh, come on, oh, come on. That would be a big win. And now, in my opinion, I was behind him. But that's the thing, you often heard maybe that the finish line is not exactly on the centimeter where the banner is, and this seems to be that what happened here. So very close in Zwift Power, it said 0.036 seconds. So congrats also to you, Jason. And yes, that's it. 31 minutes and 6 seconds. I hope that this is a good time. It's the first race, so yes, a lot of chances to make a better time. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Subscribe to our main channel Wattfabrik and good night.